Welcome aboard, little explorers. I'm your captain for today's journey, and I am absolutely thrilled to have you with me. We are jumping right into a magnificent visual explainer that's going to take us far, far away from home. Space is this vast, magical world that's absolutely packed with secrets, mysteries, and mind-blowing surprises just waiting to be uncovered. So strap in and make sure your imagination is set to maximum overdrive, because we're about to take a grand, high-energy tour of the cosmos. So are you ready to explore the secrets of space? Are you ready to leave the familiar ground of Earth, blast off through the clouds, and float out into the vast, glittering unknown? We've got a whole universe to decode together, and our spacecraft is officially cleared for launch. Okay, let's dive right into this. Section 1. The Wonderful Sun Family. Before we can explore the deepest, darkest corners of the universe, we have to start right here in our own cosmic neighborhood. And just like you have a family at home, our planet has a family too. Our cosmic neighborhood is officially called the solar system. But why is it called that? Well, because of the absolute superstar right in the middle, the sun. Now, the sun isn't a planet. It's a massive, extremely hot, glowing star. It basically acts like a giant, burning campfire right in the center, and its gravity holds the whole shebang together. And circling around this magnificent campfire, 8 amazing, completely unique planets. They all spin and dance around this giant burning center in this endless cosmic carousel. Moving right along to Section 2, our Solar System Planets Tour. Now that we know who's at the center of our family, it's time to pack our virtual bags and visit the planets themselves. We're going to start with the inner circle, the rocky worlds that sit closest to the blazing heat of the sun. First up is Mercury. It's small, it's super incredibly fast, just zooming and zipping around the sun in an absolute flash. Then there's Venus, the hottest and brightest planet in our sky, completely wrapped in these thick, heavy clouds that trap heat like a giant cosmic oven. Next, planet number 3, Earth, our beautiful blue home. It's the only planet we know of that has perfect water, fresh air, vibrant life, and yes, even soccer fields. Finally, we zoom over to Mars. They call it the red planet because its soil and rocks are literally the color of rust. And guess what? Scientists love Mars so much that it's currently populated entirely by amazing exploring robots sent right from Earth. Leaving the rocky worlds behind, we journey out to the heavyweights, the outer giants. Jupiter is the absolute giant of the family. It's a massive globe of gas so unimaginably enormous that every single other planet in our solar system could easily fit inside it at the exact same time. No way, right? Then we have Saturn, famously wearing those stunning, beautiful rings made entirely of glittering ice and space rocks. But then, further out, we reach Uranus. Uranus is very cold. It has a beautiful greenish-blue color, but honestly, it's a bit lazy. Unlike the other planets that spin upright, Uranus just slowly, sleepily rolls along on its side like a giant ball taking a nap. And finally, the very edge of our family tree, Neptune, the farthest planet, a freezing dark blue world where the fastest, most violent winds in the entire solar system howl continuously. Now, what's truly unbelievable here is the sheer contrast in our solar system. On one side, you've got Venus. It's baking hot, incredibly bright, and smothered in thick heat-trapping clouds where the air pressure itself would crush a submarine. It's the ultimate cosmic sauna. But look at the other side. Neptune. It's billions of miles away from the warmth of the sun, cast in a permanent, freezing cold twilight and battered by incredibly violent icy gales that move faster than a fighter jet. It just shows you how wildly different and extreme 2 planets circling the very same star can be. All right, let's blast off to Section 3, Weird Space Facts. So we've seen the planets, but what happens when you leave the safety of a spaceship and just float right out into the endless dark void? Let's shift our tour away from the worlds themselves and look at what it's actually like to be an astronaut living out there. Total silence. If you were floating outside your ship and you screamed at the absolute top of your lungs, no one would hear a single thing. Why? Well, because sound needs air to travel through. Space is a giant empty vacuum. There's no air. Therefore, there's no sound. Just complete, absolute, endless quiet. And this brilliantly illustrates the strict rules astronauts absolutely must follow to survive out there. Because of that total silence we just talked about, rule number 1, astronauts have to use special radios built right into their helmets just to talk to each other. Rule number 2, 0 gravity. Up there, gravity isn't pulling you down to the floor like on Earth. Everything floats. The astronauts float, their tools float,
And yep, if you spill your juice or drop your sandwich, your lunch is going to float right past your face. Finally, rule number 3. Those iconic, thick, white spacesuits are definitely not just for fashion. They are literally personal, human-sized spaceships. They protect our little explorers from the freezing cold shadows and the burning hot sun, all while pumping in the precious oxygen they need to breathe.
Let's move on and see how this builds in Section 4, Stars and the Milky Way.
We've explored our sun, our 8 planets, and the weird reality of floating in the void. But what happens if we zoom out, like way out, far past Neptune, far past the boundaries of our solar system? Let's look at the incredibly massive scale of the wider universe. I want you to think about going outside at night and looking up at the sky. You see thousands of those tiny little twinkling dots of light, right? Well, actually, scratch that. Those tiny dots aren't small glowing balls at all. This is completely mind-blowing, but every single one of those tiny pinpricks of light is actually a gigantic, violently burning, roaring sun exactly like our own. Some are even bigger and brighter. They only look tiny because they are unimaginably, unbelievably far away. So the crucial point is, our whole solar system, our giant sun, the speeding Mercury, the Earth and its soccer fields, the massive Jupiter, it's all just one tiny little house inside a colossal, swirling galactic city. And that massive city of stars is called the Milky Way. But wait, it gets crazier. The Milky Way isn't alone. Out there in the deep dark, floating in the endless ocean of space, there are literally billions of other galaxy cities just like ours. The scale is almost too much for the human brain to handle.
Which brings us to Section 5, an amazing final fact. Our journey is almost at its end, little explorers, and you have been fantastic co-pilots on this cosmic tour. But before we bring our spacecraft back down through the clouds and land safely back on planet Earth, I want to leave you with one final awe-inspiring realization. I want you to prepare your minds for a number that truly shows you how vast our universe is, just starting with our home star. 1 million. Remember earlier when we talked about how big the sun is? Well, if you were to take our beautiful blue Earth, the entire planet with all its oceans, mountains, cities, and people, and you made it hollow like a giant ball, you could fit exactly 1 million planet Earths inside of the sun. 1 million of our whole world just to fill up our single star. And remember, that massive sun of ours is just one single average-sized star in a Milky Way city filled with billions of other stars. And that Milky Way? It's just one galaxy out of billions of other galaxies. So I'll leave you with this final thought. With billions of galaxies out there containing trillions and trillions of stars and planets, what else do you think is hiding out there in the dark? Are there other planets with blue oceans? Other giant, colorful gas clouds? What secrets are just waiting to be discovered? Keep looking up at the night sky, keep asking questions, and never, ever stop exploring. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Captain, signing off.